Hello, welcome back to Flipping Dreams. It's been a little while since our last episode, and I wanted to take this moment to fill you in a little bit on what's been happening and also just bring up some ideas of inspiration and encouragement for this holiday season. So let's dig right in. I have been on a bit of a sabbatical for the last month or so. I think with everything going on in our country, the election, the pandemic numbers and still rising again, and just all the things, I felt like perhaps there was a little bit too much shouting into the void, and maybe it was time to pull back and do some reflection and also some more focused creative work. So that's what I've been doing. And it gave me a really good opportunity to revisit why I started Flipping Dreams in the first place. So why don't I share that with you? Um, this whole idea of sharing the concept of flipping your dreams, sort of like flipping a house, like you're renovating your dream life, your world, came from my own experiences of overcoming great obstacles, rejection, dreams that fell flat, dreams I aged out of, and being able to find my own path of resiliency and being able to flip my own dreams and step confidently into my future. And when I talk to people, I felt like this was a theme. This was something that a lot of people were really curious about, and they wanted to learn how to do that better. And so Flipping Dreams came out of that idea of having conversations with other people who've done this, because I am not unique. I mean, I'm uniquely me, but I'm not unique to the idea of being able to transform your life, transform your past, and step into your future. And so I had so much fun over this started, when did I start this? It was in June. Yeah, the 1st of June was our first episode, and we did weekly conversations, and I got to meet people all over the country, and even a couple Canadians as well, where we discussed, got to hear their stories of resiliency, their interesting paths, get encouragement and some wisdom from them, and also just advice. And I think that I've been so incredibly happy with how these conversations evolved and how frank that my guests were, how they were able to really share and be really vulnerable and share their stories and their pathways to help other people, that hopefully my other listeners would be able to listen in and connect and identify and be like, oh, you know what? That is me. That's what I've been going through, and I'm not alone. And how did they do it? Or what resources did they use? And how can I use those same things to help me on my own path? So I am so grateful for everyone who's been on the show so far. And I think more than anything, not only was I able to share these stories, but I also internalized so many of these discussions. They were fantastic for me to, help me also walk in my truth, walk in my path, continue my own path of authenticity, tapping into my own passion life, and continuing to evolve, because we're all evolving. It's not, you don't just reach a goal and that's it's a day by day, minute by minute, moment by moment process. And the more you get comfortable with that ever changing process, the happier you are, because then you are in the flow of it. So some of the things that I learned from our conversations are that, we're not alone. I know it's really easy to feel that way, especially if you're a creator and you're creating content in sort of a vacuum by yourself, and you don't always see people around you that are reflecting the same passion or creativity or ideas. And it can feel very lonely to be pushing against the flood of negative and to try to be positive and to create. And so it was really refreshing for me to be able to talk to other like-minded individuals who also have struggled with this, and just to know that we're sort of building this community of voices, of positive, creative thinking, growth mindset voices, and that was really powerful for me. Certainly, this all started during a pandemic where we're not able to socially see each other, and everything is online, it's on video, and a lot of we're oversaturated with all of this negative content, and it's really hard to create when you're in fear-based culture and negative. You shut down, and that is not the place you create from. You end up actually hiding. So this idea of combating this and continuing to step out and continuing to face fears and step through them and go for these dreams, that was something really important, and it was really inspiring to see how people have done that. I also was really fascinated by the fact that many of my guests, we had similar through lines in life of facing difficult decisions and choices when we're in the midst of practicing authentic living, and that this changes over time as we evolve and grow, which is a good thing. So it was really fun to see how, it wasn't like, oh, this happened to me and then I did this and everything was perfect and end scene. That's Hallmark. Nothing wrong with I love Hallmark. That's movies. That's, really great fictional books, and, it's awesome, but that's not necessarily life. Life continues to evolve and change. And so being able to see how, even when my guests had a really clear vision of where they wanted to go, sometimes they had to pivot a few times to get to that vision. It wasn't something that happened just like automatically. It wasn't something that was a given. Just because you have this creative inspiration, this thought, and this idea, and just because you can do it doesn't mean it's necessarily going to happen the way you think it will. And to not be discouraged and to continue to push and find avenues to make that dream happen, that was really exciting, and just something that really resonated with me as well. And one of the things that came up for me, and what kind of triggered this sabbatical, quite honestly, because I started Flipping Dreams, and it became a weekly show that I am doing, producing and editing and promoting. But I'm also still working full-time as a software engineer during the day, and I'm still working on music and my other passion pursuits. And quite honestly, I think I got a little burnt out. I just felt like I wasn't filling myself up. I was just giving everything out. And I wasn't upset about the giving. I just felt really exhausted. So it made me think also that there's seasons when it's really important for us to produce. And as content creators, like, we have this, kind of urgency of like, we must get this out. We must get the content out every week or every whatever day, and social media and all the pressures surrounding it. But as a creative, as someone who does create, I also realized there is a time to actually be silent and quiet and give yourself the space, the mental space, and the emotional and just physical energy to be able to create the things that you want to do. I mean, sometimes you need to rest, and that's part of the season. I mean, it's kind of cheesy, there's a reason for the season. No, but I mean, there is a reason why we have spring and fall and winter and summer. Like, there's a reason our bodies go through seasons, our nature around us goes through seasons, and our creativity also goes through seasons. Like, and I think that it's a really healthy thing and a self-loving thing to realize that sometimes you might just be on fire and be like able to just bang, 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 just get all that stuff out there and be on top of it and be in that flow. And then sometimes it's like, man, I just want to let some things incubate. And so I think for me, that was kind of where I got to and decided to pull back, and just really lean into my gratitude practice and really revisit my vision for what I wanted, because my vision for myself is larger than just flipping dreams. This was just one avenue to create a community and to connect with people and inspire people during a difficult time, but and inspire myself too. But I think I have other passion pursuits. I have projects that I really want to focus on, and when I'm really honest with myself, I can't do it all. And I think that's the first step to recovery. No, I don't know. It's the first step to just being real with yourself that, I can't do it all and I shouldn't do it all. It's okay. Like, sometimes you have to let things fall away and rest while other things ramp up. And I think also I needed to revisit where, like, the reasons why, when you get into content creation, it's so easy to just, you join this hamster wheel of like, I must do this, I must produce, I must interview, I must edit, I must, get it out there, I must do the promotion, I must, marketing and all the things. And it's like weekly. And so it's just like this deadline every week. You must get this done. And I think it was really easy to just like lose sight of like why I was doing it in the first place, and to just, I was just like feeling like I had to produce. It just had to go out. People were expecting it. There was now pressure for me to do this. And I think that this idea that it's okay to remember, like, okay, I'm doing this because I want to help and share and create this community. I want to encourage people that it's never too late for them to live this, the dream life that they want, that life is short. So now is the time to let go of the past and forgive yourself and forgive others and move forward and grab hold of those dreams that you really want to do and go for it. This is the time for that. And then also I think it was, a way for me to, tap into, what do I want? Tasha Skillen, one of our guests, she has this great community for boldly becoming you, and she one of her videos that really resonated with me was this idea of like, what do you want? And I think that it's so easy for us to do what we think people need us to do. We need to have a face, a presence on social media. We need to be consistent. We need to deliver content. We need to do all these things. But what do you want? That was a really powerful thing. And it's not something that's easy for many of us to do consistently, what we want, because let's just face it, we're at the mercy many times of the people and circumstances in our lives. But we do have the power of choice, and we have free will. And it's something that I think that we could exercise more by, in just even having that dialogue, that discussion with ourselves of like, is this what I want? Or what don't you want? So, anyway, I think, again, going back to this idea of creating, I feel like we've sort of lost this connection between creating content as creatives and then putting it out there. I think because we're in this day and age of like instant validation, instant gratification, instant production, we don't give ourselves the time to really allow something to fully germinate. We end up, we don't allow, it's like part of the process demands that you take the time to create before sharing, that you allow that seed to grow to its fullest potential, setting down those mature roots before testing it in the winds of public opinion and social media. And I think a lot of us lose sight of that part of that process, which is really beautiful because not only are you creating something, you're learning so much about yourself in the process, and you're maybe healing or growing or, transforming your own beliefs, views, your life. You're enriching your life. And then on top of that, you get to share that with people. So, I think this idea of taking time, we're now in the season. I'm recording this, it's December of this pandemic year. All of us are really looking forward to the holidays. We're definitely looking forward to the end of this year and hoping that 2021 will be a fruitful year and one that we'll be able to connect socially in person again. But I think we've learned so much over this year. I know I have learned so much. It, I tell you, it's taught me so much about resilience still and being adaptable. I mean, we've had to, as a culture, figure out how to live without being in contact physically with each other. Without having access to resources like toilet paper. I mean, we're going to listen to this years from now and be like, wow, that actually happened. And think about how we navigated so many difficult social climates, so many issues that have come up, racial tensions and resource management and political issues and an election, a very tumultuous election. And this has just been quite the year. And I think, when we look back, I think we'll see how many people took advantage of these obstacles to strike out on their own, to start that business. Sometimes they had no choice, right? A lot of people were laid off or furloughed or had to, find other means of employment during this time. And I think that a lot of people found in that process, they, ended up changing their routines, and it ended up being actually a positive thing for their family, a positive thing for themselves. They started asking those questions more like, why am I doing this? Why am I working for this person when all I've really wanted to do is work for myself, and I have this dream and now's the time to do it. Let's just try. And I think also, not only have we been able to tap into things that were I feel like it's very, very passionate year for people, but I also think it's been an opportunity for us to listen to ourselves, to listen to others. And rather than just, shouting our opinions and our beliefs and trying to, make ourselves heard in the roar of everyone yelling at the same time, there's so much power in being quiet and just listening and reflecting on yourself and your own beliefs and your own core beliefs and goals and your vision for yourself and your life and your vision for your loved ones. I think that's almost more powerful than any action. And I hope that, flipping dreams is not going away. But during this time, I realized I really needed and wanted to focus on actively creating some content that I'm really passionate about and that's not ready to be shared yet. So I have been having a really wonderful time stepping out of the production side and getting to just dig in each and every day to building some of this creative work. And I am excited in 2021 to share that with you. So for the next month or so, I will be silent, probably. But we have all of our old episodes that you feel free to tap into. And I'm interested, be interesting to see what happens with Flipping Dreams in the future, where that goes. I'm okay with it being fluid. I'm okay with it being something that kind of, you know, feels organic and natural. And I'm okay with kind of being silent too right now during this season of wonder and magic and hope, right? Like I, wish for everyone that, as I'm actively pursuing my dreams and flipping them and working on my daily practice, I encourage all of you to do the same. That this is an evolution, and I, know that you can all be amazing, powerful, passionate, caring, kind, compassionate individuals. And we need all of our voices. Maybe not shouting at the same time, but we all have a powerful thing to share. We have a powerful gift that we've been given. And I encourage all of you to tap into that in whatever way that manifests, and to know that you are supported here by the Flipping Dreams community. And 2021 will be a new year, and we'll see what happens from there. So I want to just thank you again for supporting this podcast, this program, this YouTube channel. Thank you for listening. If you have missed any episodes, please tune in. I feel like every single one of my conversations that I had with my wonderful guests, I have taken away gems that I still refer to daily. So I hope that you feel the same. I wish you peace and health and love and joy, and most of all, freedom. So until we meet again, I hope you have a beautiful holiday season, and I look forward to talking to you in the new year. Thank you again for listening to Flipping Dreams.